Welcome to another episode of the Apocalypse. I am your guide, Nicholas. What one sociopath says today may change when the sun rises. Because they believe in nothing except more. Yes, we're going to take a look at what Leon said yesterday as opposed to today. What Donnie Shitbag said yesterday as opposed to today. Well, actually, Donnie didn't say anything today. I actually got a comment from someone. Has Donnie had a chance to respond to this stuff? Well, he's responded for that person that asked that question. So let's see what was said yesterday. This person posted, "Dear MAGA, time for a heart-to-heart. We may not agree on much, but even I think it's a little much for Elon Musk to call you subtards, the retarded right, and crackheads in the same day. Hope you're doing okay under the circumstances." Now, these are some comments yesterday that I didn't read to you guys. There's so many things, I can't give it all to you in one day. And I have to kind of pick and choose. There's so much knavery going on. So, to be fair to Leon Scum, he didn't actually say these words. I think he said the subtard one, but the other two, someone else said it, and Leon kind of co-signed it. So I want to be completely fair here to the oligarch that's trying to take over the world. So here in the first shot, Adrian Dittman, aka Leon Scum, and I explained that yesterday. If you don't know, you better ask somebody, said this: because out of all of them, Elon is the only one that's giving all of these crackheads a fucking voice. Now, he's talking about the MAGA people that are mad at Elon and Vivek about the immigration thing. And basically what Vivek and Leon and the minions are calling those hardcore MAGA people are racists. That's what they're calling those people. At this point, plenty of comments to bear that out. In this one, Adrian Dittman, in quotes, is calling them crackheads, that MAGA base that is mad at Leon Scum for his H-1B visa stance that I explained to you yesterday. Let's go to the next one. So that's a space, again, where on Twitter, a space is a place where a bunch of people can gather and they take turns speaking. So when Elon or Leon says he's having a space, well, that's a big deal, right? The richest man in the world, the owner of the site, is having a space. So Adrian just has to show up, of course, and give a dissertation. And part of that was, again, using the word crackheads to describe the hardcore MAGA base that Elon and his people could give two fucks about. Donald don't care about you either, but that's beside the point. So here's something else that was said yesterday that I didn't read to you because the video just would have been too long. This is Ian Miles Chong, and don't even get me started with this thing called Ian Miles, okay? It's a long story, just another right-wing grifter, no different than the rest. We don't need the details. It's too long of a story. It's just not worth it. We're past the point of it mattering. Sorry, people. So Ian Miles says, much of the anger being driven towards Musk today is simply disappointment being projected by the retarded right. That's in quotes. That's on the fringes of the conservative movement. So he's calling a portion of MAGA the retarded right. The portion that is mad at Elon for his H-1B visa stance. That's a large portion, I would say. Elon underneath co-signs that statement by saying, exactly. So Elon didn't use the phrase retarded right, but he co-signed it by saying exactly. Again, this is yesterday. There's a reason I'm telling you this. Okay, here's Ian Miles again. Some of these subtards are going to be incredibly disappointed to find out that you're not a racist like they are. Yes, he is a racist. Have you seen Twitter? It's a right-wing hellscape full of all kind of racist slurs hurled at people. And then when they complain about them, the website says that person did not violate terms of service. That used a flat-out racial slur. I've seen it many, many times. So this myth that he's not a racist, plus he comes from apartheid South Africa. Come on, people. I'm not saying everybody that grew up in that system's a racist, but, you know. Elon responded, the point was not to replace DEI, which is one form of racism, sexism, with a different form of racism, sexism, but rather to be meritocratic, a meritocratic society. You're going to learn that Elon's all about meritocracy. Merit, getting by on the merits of your skills and abilities. Oligarchs like Elon, who were born filthy fucking rich, whose daddies had emerald mines and shit, who get billions of government welfare. They love to make points like this as if they're wise, as if they pulled themselves up by the bootstraps. You're gonna hear this word more often: meritocracy, meritocratic, and you always hear it from oligarchs that inherited every damn thing they have, or whose daddy paid $2 million for a visa and to get them into a good school that they immediately dropped out of so they could be the next tech bro. Because why waste time with education, man? I just want to be rich like my daddy. Just like Donnie, just like so many others. They're all fucking mindless automatons. And they're all trying to prove something to their father. Donnie is, Leon is, and others. But this meritocracy thing, Elon's all about that, even though he was born on third and wants you to think he hit a triple. Even though the government heaped money upon him because they wanted these electric cars and this agenda to go for certain parts of our government, which I don't mind electric cars, whatever, man. My point is the government helped him ridiculously much with billions of your dollars, gave to him to get this shit off the ground and make it a real car company. Because that's what they wanted at the time. My point is, he got all kind of handouts. He was born filthy rich. He didn't just pull himself up by the bootstraps and on the merits do anything. He doesn't design rockets, cars. All he does is buy into places. Because he's the rich kid who wants to buy in before he knows what the fuck he's talking about and be management and be the guy who runs the company when he doesn't know jack shit. And he's proven it business-wise every day. That's why he needed to buy the presidency again. He was going to have a lot of cases coming his way. And it would have shown the entire world that here's another person that was touted as a visionary and genius that was just a fucking fraud. Again. A Madoff-style fraud. You know, Madoff, the guy that was literally part of the stock exchange, that was trusted with billions of dollars. Billionaires were begging to invest with the man. Meanwhile, every millisecond, every atom of it was fucking fraud. You get where I'm going? Okay. So this meritocracy thing, I find it so funny how many oligarchs that get handed everything in life and achieved jack shit on their own, ever, and have no skills whatsoever other than being rich and being able to buy in and tell people what to do and fire people. Want to talk about meritocracy, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, etc. Complete bullshit. And the first people that are out there throwing those words around are people who inherited every fucking penny they have. They're always the first to, well, I'm a success. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. You're a success because your daddy was rich, son. That's it. Not on the merits. Meritocracy or the merits had bloody nothing to do with it. I'm just a little sick of hearing people that were spoon-fed everything, handed everything, dare speak of pulling yourself up by the bootstraps. I'm a little tired of it, forgive me. But that wasn't the point of this. Elon responded to this in a different comment as well. I believe it said something like, I'm tired of the subtards or something like that. My point is, this is what he was saying yesterday. So he's agreeing to comments and saying exactly to comments that are using words like subtards and retarded right. And then he's in the spaces under the alias of Adrian Dittman, it appears, calling them crackheads, a portion of the MAGA base who feels strongly about immigration and loves the talk about rounding up the brown Mexicans and sending them back, the low-end people. And now they're starting to discover that their political party and the people that are at the top of it now, they don't care about any of that. As long as they can get cheap labor, they don't give a fuck. And that's pretty much everyone. They're starting to discover this. And they say, oh, wait a minute, we don't want these other brown immigrants coming here taking these technical jobs either. We don't like that. Don't worry, guys. It'll go back to immigrant hating soon. Don't worry. They'll refocus back on the Haitians and the Mexicans and people like that. Don't worry. It's coming. They'll pivot off of this. Don't worry. But this is what was said yesterday. So Elon was co-signing all these statements about you. And I'm talking to MAGA. I'm talking to the Rubes. That's what Daddy Elon thinks of you, the guy you handed your country to. You're crackheads, you're the retarded right, you're subtards, according to them. Not me, according to them. The guy you just handed your country to, the guy that owns Donnie shitbags. Little children, what have you done? Let's try and move forward here. I'm spending too much time on this. Okay, now what's being said today, or what's the new shit? Here we go. And here, let's let this person frame it. Maggots voted for Trump because they wanted to fuck over immigrants. That's one way to look at it. That's not the whole thing. It's not the whole story. Only to have a South African immigrant purchase the government and defend his policy of hiring immigrants by telling the maggots to go fuck themselves in the face. You just can't make this shit up. Yes, Mr. Scum said this. It was either late yesterday, early today. Oh, December 24, 2:44 p.m. I think. Or maybe that was the other person's post. Anyway, yesterday, today, it was after the batch I gave you yesterday. The reason I'm in America, along with so many critical people who built space, critical, he calls himself critical to America, son. Did you hear that? He ain't critical to jack shit. His daddy's money was sure critical though, wasn't it? Fuck out of here, critical people. Just because he bought in? Was he designing rockets? Hell no, engineers were doing that shit. He's just a rich kid they call the Child King at SpaceX. I read the stuff to you. Critical. Yeah, I don't read these that closely before I present them. So they're kind of new to me. So built SpaceX, the critical people, Tesla, and hundreds of other companies that made America strong is because of H-1B. Take a big step back and fuck yourself, that's in all caps, in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend. Cracker, you were afraid to fight Zuckerberg. Don't talk about war with nobody. He's a big tough guy on the website he bought with Russian and Saudi and Puff Daddy money, right? He's a big tough guy. Oh, God. So, yeah, now he's telling people to go fuck yourself in the face. All the people that have a problem with his stance on H-1B visas. And always remember, people, he doesn't give a fuck about Indian immigrants. He cares about getting the cheapest labor he can get. And slave labor, people that can't leave, can't quit, can't tell him to go fuck himself when he says, I need you to sleep in the office for every day for the next 2 months. Because I'm crazy and I fire everybody and I want all the money. And you're going to do 73 jobs. You, this one person I hired. If you're an H-1B visa person, you can't tell that person to go fuck himself. So this has nothing to do with any righteous cause again, people. Does this person who lies every 5 minutes and flips every 5 minutes on you people, you're going to trust him? Give me a break. You can't trust anything he says. Again, Elon reduced to the lowest common denominator is nothing more than this. I want all the money in the world to end up in my bank account. Every statement is aimed toward that. Even this statement. Doesn't give a fuck about H-1B visas or immigrants. He came to America. We made him rich. Heaped money upon him because there was an agenda to get off of oil, powered cars, gas-powered cars, whatever. I got no problem with that. The problem I have is this person was made a king over here, and this is how he thanks us. He calls you technically skilled people in the computer world not skilled enough, or not, there aren't enough of you. I don't believe that for a second. There's plenty of you. They just don't want to hire you. They want to hire someone from a third world country that's dying to get out of it. That will, beg, borrow, and steal for that job. Because that gets them out of a third world ghetto. That's the difference. The mental difference. And Elon talks about stuff like that too. How much investment he has to put in American workers, blah, blah, fucking blah. We made you rich, son, this country. Not your country, this country. Your daddy's money and the USA made you rich. This is how you thank us, you fucking scumbag. You call our workers substandard. You say there's not enough of them. When all that matters to you is finding someone who'll work for 1/3 the price. Fucking scumbag. Let me continue. So yeah, this is what he's telling people today. Fuck yourself in the face. Real great behavior too by the richest man in the world who owns a website bought with Russian money. You wanted to know what Trump thinks of all this? As he sits back and watches the children play? Because you know what Donnie's thinking? These fools, let me get real close for this one. These fools just gave me the keys to the biggest stick on planet Earth. The day I am inaugurated, there isn't a human on the planet that can fuck with me. Not one. All these people that think they got me over a barrel, we gonna see about that. Because I'm going to have the U.S. military. And no one can fuck with me then. That's second. It's too late for everyone. Good luck, guys that think you got a leash on them. He just sitting back and watching all you idiots scamper the fuck around. Just waiting till he gets handed them keys and walks through that door and becomes king for life, thanks to the rubes. Here's what he thinks. Mystery's going to round everybody up and deport them, right? Trump supports immigration visas backed by Musk. I have many H-1B visas on my properties. In other words, Trump was asked about it, and that was his response, which means I'm running with Elon. So much for we don't like the immigrants. So much for when Trump promised to get rid of that program. I guess that promise won't be kept, huh, MAGA? I guess you've been bamboozled again. You should have known better. So Donnie's on Team Elon in this issue. Donnie loves H-1B visa workers as well. Why do you think Donnie loves those workers, even though he's racist as fuck? Because they work for 1/3, baby. Well, like every other oligarch. Here's the oligarch's wet dream. A totally automated business. They don't have to pay a single human being. And they get to keep every single penny. And then when the public has no jobs, and they're all looking around, well, how do we buy this guy's shitty products? There's no answer to that question. But the oligarchy doesn't understand that concept. That the broker you make people, less people can buy your shitty products and services that are all monopolies at this point. They don't think about that. They just want to make, they want to be the winner of the race of, I'm the first trillionaire. That's the race right now. That's what our society's built around globally. Who the first trillionaire is going to be. It's exciting, isn't it? So Donnie's on board with Elon. Let's move. Let's. What does Alex Jones think of H-1B visas? These are all your MAGA heroes, right? Right, MAGA? Right, Rubes? Mr. Jones, Donald Trump, Leon Scum. These are top-level MAGA heroes. And they're all down with the H-1B visa thing. Why do you think that is? Because it saves them money. Oh no, I see a lot of properties down here with Mexican contractors working. You know why? Because it saves them money. Not because they like Mexican people. It's nothing to do with that. The hatred goes right out the window when someone's willing to work for half the price, 1/3 the price, because you have them over a barrel. It's funny how that works, isn't it? So this is what Alex thinks of it all. Alex Jones backs Elon Musk's stance on expanding legal immigration. Let's see what Alex says. Classic American policy to brain drain the best from across the planet, and bring them here. Musk has always advocated for this policy. Everyone bitching that Musk has flip-flopped are either ignorant or lying. Elon, to a great extent, is the poster child for this program, working. So Alex is down with it too. Are you cool with that, MAGA? Is that what you voted for? Look at all these guys suddenly, all down with the H-1B visa. Let's hire foreigners for skilled, high-paying jobs. But, you'll enjoy the theater of a few roundups of low-level, construction worker helpers and lawn maintenance people and janitors, right? That'll make you happy, right? As person after person throws you under the bus, like Alex just did, like Donnie Shitbags just did, like Leon just did. Cernovich, I told you yesterday how Cerno is talking light shit on Leon because of the H-1B visa thing, and Cernovich noticed all the bans, Laura Loomer and other bans of people that were criticizing Musk over his H-1B visa stance. Cerno says, never insult the monarch. Elon responds, I am constantly insulted on this platform. The guy who bought this platform, the poor little oligarch, richest man in the world, who gets engineers to tweak the algorithm to push his garbage in our face because Joe Biden got more clicks than him one day. And that's not a joke. He's crying because Cernovich called him the monarch and made him feel bad for, deboosting and ruining the MAGA All-Stars yesterday or the day before. Poor little Elon, constantly insulted on the platform that Russia and the Saudis bought just to influence our election because they knew we got a lot of rubes in this country that are not very smart. So they could own our country. And they succeeded. So Elon's quest to take over the world and surpass his daddy and prove things and fulfill this prophecy I'm about to read to you in a second. We should feel sorry for him. Think of him. Think of how cute he was in his suit of armor with the Baphomet crest. We should feel sorry for that person because the site they bought with Russian, Saudi, and Puff Daddy money so they could buy our country, so they could fool the rubes, influence opinion. He gets insulted on all the time. Poor baby. Poor baby. Oh, this is the person that did the voice recognition yesterday that I was talking to you about. Quickly, Elon and Adrian Dittman were in a space together. Again, a space is a place where people can gather and talk, guest speakers, etc. People are invited to join the space, blah, 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 blah. Everyone thinks Adrian Dittman is Elon. Well, someone put some science on that shit, put some technology on that shit, and I'm going to quickly go through it because this person really fascinates me. Anyway, so again, yesterday I read you the part. Part of the reason I was aggressive as I was with Adrian/Elon was to get him agitated so he would speak faster, then the voice modulator could work, and we could make a positive match using some software some friends of mine use for this sort of thing. I can confirm it's Elon. This person's putting their name on it. Of course, I knew a lot about Elon, and so I used that to bait him into using the same talking points so we could use the audio we already had of Elon to compare against Adrian. It's a match. The syntax, the pauses, even the laugh. Elon knows me, so I wasn't surprised when he made a number of errors, talked over me, etc. There are several grand juries investigating Elon now. It's only a matter of time. Just listen for yourself. Let me stop right here. When people use these phrases about Elon, Trump, or whatever, it's only a matter of time. There's a reason he bought the presidency. There's a reason Trump wanted the presidency. All these things are going away. There is no matter of time regarding court cases, etc. You watch the cases all disappear in the first 2 days. Elon's cases will disappear too. So I just want to make that clear to people. I don't want to give people false hope here. So he shows a graph and chart and the computer readout of the two voice prints, and yes, they look like they're the same. You can even listen to them. Let's go to the next shot. If Elon or any of his cronies retaliate against me in any form, I'll just sue him for what he did to me already, and I'll leak everything he knows I know. Make my new year. This person's very smart, okay? I've read some of the things they've written. They're saying a lot of the same things I'm saying. I didn't know that when I first found them. It's weird. It's uncanny. And no, they don't seem religious, but they're saying some strange things. And yes, it is quite brave to stand up to the richest man in the world. What can I say? It's nothing compared to the bravery of my family members who built this country. They didn't build it so I'd hand it over to criminal fraudsters like Elon and his Indian slaves. He's talking about the H-1B visa workers that Elon looks at as slaves because they can't leave, because if they violate their visa, their work visa, they get sent back home. I'm not going to be intimidated by some 2-bit South African criminal, and neither should you. You're an American. It's time to act like it. Elon should remember his own family legacy of service before it's too late for him. One final point. I knew enough here about Tesla to expose Elon. This person is citing an argument with the richest man in the world, saying they cooked him. Anyway, if there are any lawyers out there who want to work with me, I have a few really interesting ideas regarding Elon. I wish I was a lawyer. Also, because my family is making me now that this has blown up, I really need a date to an NYE party. Interested parties, DM me. I've written about a lot about Elon's criminal behavior over the years. Peruse the archives, and they leave a link here. I'm also well known to Elon after I helped the FBI investigate him when he hired a Russian poker player to manage his fraudulent obtained cash. They know some things. And again, this came out today, this piece I'm about to read to you. The allegation that Adrian Dittman is indeed Elon Musk. And the person that is testifying that I just read, they're responding to it. The website is responding. This claim is false. Elon Musk is not the individual known as Adrian Dittman. A video exists of both Elon Musk and Adrian speaking to each other, definitively proving they are not the same person. There's a link here. Do you know what I think of this statement? Once I read this, I knew it was true. Because whatever Musk says, whatever Donnie Shitbag says, I go with the opposite. If you do that in life, you're on the right path. In other words, whatever they say is true, just go with the opposite. Assume they're lying to you. You'll always be on the right path. So the second I read this, I knew. They were responding to the allegations yesterday of computer analyzation of his voice. That told me, okay, it's real. Yeah, that's Elon. That's Elon. Having conversations with himself. Everything's about manipulating opinion with these people. The image, the narrative, the goal of all the money in the world ending up in their bank account. I am not exaggerating in the fucking slightest. Let's continue. Just a little bit about Elon's dad. 2 little quick things, and it's a fucking doozy. How much of what Elon Musk is doing right now are based on the fantasies of a Nazi rocket scientist? Is all of this the Elon trying to prove something to his father? The Elon. You'll understand that phrase in a moment. Seems like we're all screwed because of someone's daddy issues. There's a picture of Elon's father here. And there's a part of a man's book, a famous rocket scientist that America got from Germany when we took Nazi scientists to come work for us. Here it is. Errol Musk says his son is named after a sci-fi book written in 1948 by Nazi rocket scientist Wernher von Braun. You all know who Wernher von Braun is. Called, Mars Project, where he describes in technical detail how people get to Mars and describes the Martian government as a technocracy with the Elon in charge. That phrase, the Elon, is used in the book. It's highlighted. There's a couple pages screenshot from the book that are highlighted. You can't make this shit up, right? Just for the fact the phrase the Elon is in the book kind of verifies the story, doesn't it? I'm going to assume it's true. Because it's a bit too much coincidental. And it's funny that Elon literally is trying to become this. The Elon in charge. Well, he has become this. He bought the presidency thanks to your rubes. You gave him the country but he bought the presidency. So he's in charge. He's the unofficial president in a lot of ways. And a technocracy. What's Elon about? Brain chips, implants, cryptocurrency, cashless society. Von Braun was brought to America during Operation Paperclip, which brought Nazi scientists to America and wrote Mars Project at Fort Bliss in German. Hermann Oberth, who Errol Musk also mentions, was another Nazi rocket scientist who came to America in 1955 to work for von Braun. So you see what these guys are into, right? His parents, Nazis, Nazi scientists, treks to find things across the world. Apartheid South Africa. What does all that add up to? Nazi ideology, doesn't it? Of course it does. Of course it fucking does. In the chapter on the Martian government, it's also the core idea of non-geographical network states. Do you hear what I'm saying here, people? Fail project to dissolve nation states in favor of techno-dictatorships and high-velocity subways. Now, they added the Thale part, the Peter Thale, but here's the real skilo. You people on the right, that everyone calls conspiracy theorists, talk about this all the time, but you equate it with liberalism and liberals. It's called a cashless society. It's called non-geographical network states, which is what? Globalism, a global system, not individual countries. What does that sound like to you, Rubes? You know what I'm talking about. New World Order, right? That's what's in this book. That's what these people believe. But I thought it was supposed to be liberals that wanted to usher this stuff in. No, it's opportunists that want all the money in their bank account. They don't believe in jack shit. And you handed your country to them that read this and thought it was cool and are trying to live it out. Described by von Braun, Nazi scientist. Sounds a lot like a lot of things I heard from you guys over the years about the New World Order, cashless society. But it's your team doing it, so you have to go along. It's too late now. Put your name on it, right? Get out before it's too late. That's all I have to say to that. So how much of what Elon Musk is doing right now are based on the fantasies of a Nazi rocket scientist? Is all of this the Elon? It's a great question, isn't it? Sounds awful familiar. And if you read that description, well, what's Elon about? What does he put out there? Chips? Crypto? Cashless? Take over countries? Using their own rules, like he did with this one? Buying up their press, their media services, putting out Russian propaganda and his propaganda. It worked. I wish you guys were smarter. I really do. Wish I could say it didn't work. I want to go back to the person I was speaking about before that seems to know a lot about Mr. Musk. And I'm not sure who they are, but they're quite fascinating, the things they say. Let me read this. The one that did the voice analysis. To be perfectly clear, I have a lot of material that could constitute an insurance policy with respect to Elon Musk's criminality and general creepy behavior with women, including an especially famous one. If I'm suspended or interfered with, I will go public in a massive way. I have a lot of material in many aspects of Musk criminality, and a lot of it is in safe hands with law enforcement. Some of it I'll have held on to. Do not push me. That person sounds serious. That person sounds smart. Based on what I read to you before about the voice analysis and all that, this person is not stupid. This person is a surprise. This person is something you don't see coming. Fascinating. I rarely see people like this. Rarely. And I didn't see them coming either. That's why I'm paying attention. Now let's go to just some random comments quickly. Where am I at here? Am I like 40 minutes already? Jesus. This is a guy I love to read what he says quite often. Listen up, you ungrateful maggots. Elon bought you fair and square. In other words, all you people that are complaining now about what you bought, well, it's too late now. Elon bought you fair and square. You're going to have to run with it. Now toe the motherfucking line. Trump sold you out for some H-1B visas. No more need be said on that. Here's another great one by the same man. Listen, kids, it's not that Elon can't find American workers to do high-tech jobs. It's that he can't find American workers to do high-tech jobs for pennies on the dollar. Exactly. That's what it all is. Every bullshit statement, all the noise. It's just another rich guy trying to make something happen where he gets to keep more money that other people do the work earning. Same old bullshit, same old automaton we see day after day after day. That keep all the spoils while others do all the work, and by all the work, I mean all the damn work. Every bit of it. And, you know, the person we're talking about, again, richest man in the world, does he really need to save money? He can't find some really skilled people in America and pay them American wages and be okay and still have $100 billion or whatever. Sociopathy. Oh, Tim Pool, remember him, the paid shill for Russia, who tried to tell us that, oh, I didn't know it was Russian money, you pay me $100,000 a week or a month. Yeah, all right, buddy. Proved everything I was saying for months and months and months and months. Anyway, this person says, the guy directly funded by Russian intelligence is concerned that Americans speaking freely is an op. So this is Tim Pool saying, the attacks on Elon and the narrative being built around censorship feels like an op. I'm not falling for it, and neither should you. Again, he's going to comment on ops when he just got outed before the entire world as being a paid, literal shill for Russia. Nothing this person ever says again in the entirety of their life can ever be taken seriously again. Ever. Anyway, here's another one. I think it's pretty telling this type of person Elon Musk is. Telling the type of person Elon Musk is with how he was fine with white nationalists and Groyper accounts until they started to criticize him heavily. Groyper accounts are Nick Fuentes people, fans, bots, trolls, etc. That's what Groyper means. Anyway, and that's totally true. Again, the racism and all the shit was fine until we got to the H-1B visa part. Now Elon and the boys want to take a stand and prove to everyone how not racist they are after they spent the last 2 years talking shit on Haitian immigrants and Mexican immigrants. Every day, all day. Now we're supposed to believe, wow, look at how, wonderfully non-racist they are by allowing all these H-1B visa workers to come from India. Isn't that beautiful? hands across America, all that. No, it's just a way for him to save money, and Americans have to sit home and not have a fucking job. A good job that you can actually live on. Except Elon paying $70 a year. So I assume if Elon's willing to pay $70, then the job really should be paying about $350 a year. So yeah, the whole movement was fine with all the racism when it was Mexican immigrants on the low end, doing the construction jobs, doing the, landscaping, etc., the housekeeping, shit like that, cleaning their pool. They're cool with all that. But wait a minute, when we get to the H-1B visa people, when we get to that level, the level where my company saves a shit ton of money by hiring foreigners, that's cool. And it doesn't matter what complexion they are. How dare any of you be racist? We need to remove you from the party. As if he isn't just as racist as they are. It's incredible to watch. But I told you, all these people would turn on the cult. So I begged you, all of you, so many people I've talked to over the years, and begged them, please just get out of the cult while you can. I don't need the right-wing talking points. I know way more than you about what the spirit around all this, what's behind it, where it's going. Wouldn't tell the people that at the time, but again, I knew about these moments in 2015. That's not an exaggeration either. These moments right now. So yeah, basically this point is a good one. Elon was all into the racism before, but now it's about his company saving money, so he wants to come off as the super non-racist. Here's where Elon says, yes, and all those contemptible fools must be removed from the Republican Party, root and stem. Now, he said this yesterday. He got in a little trouble for it, and then he came back with this. The contemptible fools, that's in quotes, I'm referring to are those in the Republican Party who are hateful, unrepentant racists. You mean like you, Elon? Apartheid boy? Who allows all kind of slurs on his website and doesn't ban any of them? So he doesn't mean any of this either. Again, this is every statement by Elon designed. How do I get all the money to end up in my bank account? That's Elon Musk. Even this statement again, all aimed toward that goal. So he's quite the hypocrite, calling the racists that he egged on with his racism racists, because he wants to bring immigrants in to do skilled jobs so he can pay them 1/3. It's such a joke. And here's a comment by Nick Fuentes, and the person makes the point, it was never about the economy for MAGA, it's all racism. I wouldn't say it's all racism, but there's an element of that there, of course. So this is an old comment by Nick. Maybe it ain't that old, 12/26/24, or maybe that's the person's comment. I don't really care about the economy that much. I just don't want to live in a country that looks like India. So that's Nick Fuentes' idea about H-1B visas and stuff like that. He sounds like a really nice guy. Here's a random person. I don't know who they are. Ezra the Scribe. I guess they're a conservative, and I saw this today, and I just kind of laughed. Because everyone was warned since 2015. Warning after warning after warning from so many people. To the cult. I despise him for this and regret my vote. At least Democrats are openly evil Marxist traitors. Anyone that spouts that statement with a straight face, I can't take anything they ever say seriously. Anyway, this MAGA pretender Trump has already betrayed American citizens in the worst possible ways and is not even in office yet. Yes, he has. That's one thing you are right about, Ezra. But that's what we all tried to tell you. And what I tried to tell you for 8 years now. Don't take it seriously. Get out of the cult while you still can. Don't be a part of this bullshit. It's all going to come back and bite you on the ass. And bite all of us on the ass. This person's finding out the hard way. And yeah, they do sound like they're conservative. Especially using phrases like evil Marxist traitors. I mean, my God. I'd love to ask him to define a Marxist. I bet he couldn't do that. Texas is one of the largest employers in Texas. Tesla is one of the largest employees in Texas. Problem is Elon's not employing Texans or U.S. citizens. He's importing people from India. So Texans are giving him huge tax subsidies and he's not giving them jobs. The U.S. is giving him contracts and he's not employing Americans. Great point. That's something I didn't think of, but it just goes to what I said before. America made this man. Without America, this guy would be jack shit. Literally. Be nothing. Be still begging his daddy for money. So once again, he's getting all these breaks from states and our federal government. And this is what he does in return. Backstabs us so he can buy our presidency, cut up, fire everybody, loot the country. That's where this is going. That's how he repays the country that made him fucking rich. Off your tax money. And you handed him your country on a silver platter again. Here's the article. This was Huffington Post back in the day. It's the article I mentioned yesterday. Elon Musk confirms he used burner account in court. Elon Musk confirms he used burner account on X to role play as toddler son. Little excerpt from the article. Billionaire Leon Scum confirmed in a recent deposition that he used a burner account on X, formerly Twitter, to seemingly roleplay as his toddler son. Toddler. Musk confirmed that the account was his in a March 27 deposition for a defamation lawsuit against him. Here's another defamer. Musk is being sued for falsely suggesting a 22-year-old Jewish man was linked to a neo-Nazi brawl in Oregon last year. The plaintiff, Ben Brody, wasn't even in the same state when the brawl occurred. So yeah, that's when Musk was discovered to have been pretending to be a toddler. Seeing how many I've left, I'm sorry. Anyway, this is from another gentleman. So basically, the Trump admin's immigration policy is to increase the number of people from other countries who come in and take high-skilled, high-paying American jobs while deporting everyone else doing physically grueling jobs for shit wages. Does that sound logical to you? Does that sound like it makes sense? Well, that's what you voted for. That's psychopathy. Because, again, the real aim of it all, the real goal of it all is cheaper for millionaires and billionaires. Rubes. That's it. Racism goes right the fuck out the window. All that hate you love so much goes right out the window for these motherfuckers. Because they want cheap labor. And they don't care what color skin does the labor. They just want it done for a cheap-ass price that Americans can't compete with. Because we got to pay rent. And that's what you people are enabling. That's what you people made happen. Because it's not about what you at the bottom see it as about, just because they say that to you, just because they agree with you. These are billionaires and millionaires, people you can't understand, you'll never be like. You'll never be in their position. Their priorities are how do I take more? How do I get more? Nothing to do with skin color. Forbes found that Trump's businesses hired at least 1,670 temporary foreign workers since 2008. In 2023, Mar-a-Lago requested H-2B visas for 53 waiters. Blah. It goes through the numbers. The point is, Trump's using these visa workers as well. Why? Because it saves him fucking money. Here again, not only does Mar-a-Lago use about 380 foreign workers under the H-1B visa program, there were at least that number roaming around Trump's property when he had dozens of unsecured top secret documents just laying around in boxes in the shitter. Great point. Thanks for making it, dude. And you voted for that guy. And you're going to have to tell your children that or lie about it. I know a lot of you are going to be lying in the future that you were all part of this. Because it's going to be a big shame. Sorry to tell you. Here's another person. Got to give him credit. Elon found a way to be president without being a natural-born citizen. He knew Trump supporters were easy marks, and it only cost him couch cushion money. Dead on. Balls accurate. Right, and the reason it cost, before I move on, the reason it cost couch cushion money is because he only had to buy the presidency. He only had to buy your cult leader. And he knew, let me get close again, and then he knew that you would just hand him the country. Why? Because the country don't mean jack shit to you. That's why. Here's Trump in 2020. As we speak, we're finalizing H-1B visa regulations so that no American worker is replaced ever again. What changed? The zeros on the check changed. The amount of zeros on the check. That's it. That's what changed. You don't believe in anything? Opportunist, grifter. No beliefs? So it's funny. Why is he all about H-1B visas now? Here's Laura Loomer again. I'm almost done. I got one more after Laura, and I'm fucking done. I'm going to have a very hard time selling the GOP in 2026. If they can't even fight for free speech, I mean, really, what are we fighting for if we can't even stand up to big tech for free speech? The elites don't care about you and your voice. We are peasants, I suppose. Yes, we are peasants. I got shut down everywhere I went. This is before all this bullshit. It was a lead into it, though. Everywhere I went, shut down, censored, etc. No one gave a fuck. This woman could have cared less. This woman could have cared less all the way up until the election. She didn't care who got shut down because she wasn't getting shut down. All of a sudden now she cares about free speech and big tech when she enabled the big tech takeover. She's one of the top people that helped it happen. You Rubes at the bottom helped it happen. Donnie Shitbags helped it happen. By being for sale. So I don't feel sorry for this woman in the slightest, but she's right. Big tech has taken over. And they control shit now, and they don't need her, and they don't need MAGA anymore, and they don't need you crazy right-wing podcasters, which will slowly fade off into the sunset, because they want it to seem normal now. They don't want the crazies speaking for them anymore. They got their own kind of crazy they want spoken. And Miss Loomer's old news. And she running her mouth too much. So now they're going to make her go away. And I don't know how many people are going to be interested in her thoughts in 2026 about Republicans, etc. Personally, it's all over. I'll be surprised if there's another election. So I want to end it with this. The very racist, this is not by me, this is by Anonymous. The very racist Elon Musk aligned himself with are being suspended from the very platform Elon used to pretend MAGA had free speech on. That's in quotes. Yet now that a MAGA civil war is raging on about visas, suddenly both sides of it realize they've been duped. Evil always eats itself. That's a beautiful way to look at it. And yes, it's true. Evil does always eat itself. The problem is, oftentimes evil takes a generation or hundreds of years to do that. We must all suffer it Doesn't make it any better for any of us, does it? That eventually Hitler shoots himself. No consolation whatsoever. So eventually justice prevails. That's fucking great. What about the 8 million that died on the way there? That's what I that's what I want to avoid. Some shit like that. That's why I'm so serious about it. So this is a totally accurate representation of what's going on. And none of these people, these right-wing people cared, these MAGA all-stars, as the thing was rising, as they were helping it, enabling it, pushing it along, lying, cheating, stealing, whatever they had to do. Doing mental gymnastics, lying to themselves. They all helped it get here. Now they're going to cry to us that they're being censored. They're being thrown under the bus when me and, 1,000 other people across the world have been trying to warn everyone. Hey, aren't you watching this guy throw everyone under the bus? This orange guy? Here's Laura crying that she got thrown under the bus by Donnie and his people. Should have listened to the warnings, guys, I guess, huh? Oh, this is what I really want to say at the end. I forgot about this. In regards to what I just read to you, there's that lovely statement at the end. What does it say? Evil always eats itself. I keep seeing sentiment as if this little rift about H-1B visas is going to be the whole thing that brings it all down. And it's all going to end before it begins. I'm sorry. I'm here to tell you as your guide that no, that's not going to happen. We must suffer this for a while. I don't think it'll last the full 4 years. But we must suffer this. And the cult must suffer this. This isn't going to go away easy tomorrow or next month. A lot of ugly has to happen first. Then hopefully it will go away. I don't know how that comes or how that happens. It must be something miraculous. That's all I know. My point is, this sentiment like from Anonymous that evil always eats itself, don't worry, it's all going to implode. No, it's not. This has been going on for 8 years. They've let this guy slide. Either they wanted him to, I don't know. There was some hesitation or fear of getting rid of the garbage here. So why does anyone think it's going to end now? 8 years, everyone. They got him this time. They got him this time. They got him. No. They never intended on getting him. It was always going here. And it ain't going away over an H-1B visa fight. Or whether he hates Elon tomorrow. I'm talking about Donnie Shitbags. Or hates Laura Loomer or this or that person. You notice there's always another one to fill the vacuum. Always another sycophant. I think they're going to put a leash on that motherfucker. Miss Loomer thought she had a leash on him. Leon thinks he has a leash on him. Vlad thinks it. A lot of people think it. Thale, etc. You don't have a leash on him. This isn't going away soon. That's why I'm doing these videos. I'm trying to be your guide through it. Maybe it'll help someone. It's the best I can do at this point. I'm sorry. It's too late. The Rubes gave away your country. Until the next episode of The Apocalypse, have a wonderful evening.